Welcome back. We're on a roll, people. We've reached our third podcast and we're building the momentum we need to create the lasting change you want in your life. Today, I'm talking about key number 2 in our 5 to Thrive, cardiovascular fitness or CV training. There are many ideas, opinions on what is best, and the fitness industry loves to sell a quick fix solution depending on what trend is currently in the market. At Fit2Thrive, we like to keep you focused on the stuff that actually works, science-based, proven strategies to provide lasting results that will benefit you for the rest of your life. So if you just want a beach body in 4 weeks or want a quick fix, then we're definitely not for you. But that being said, if you want a strong, flexible, healthy body that will serve you well for the rest of your life, then you're definitely in the right place. Like any extreme body types, they bring a whole plethora of issues that rear their head later in life. We are tempted by the glossy social media images of people with crazy low body fat or huge, cumbersome muscles. But these images are usually a brief moment in time, captured with filters and all sorts of effects and makeup. What we don't see are the down days when they don't normally have that six-pack or the injuries that may sustain from that type of training. These body shapes serve people that want to specialise in one sport or discipline, maybe making a living from the superficial look of their body, but it rarely serves them well long term and causes other health issues that again show up later in life, not to mention the injuries from overtraining. So don't get me wrong, this is fine as their life choice, but it doesn't fit within our mission and how we want to serve the world. Our keys to thrive focus on making you a well-balanced human that can apply what you learn with us to conquer what you come across with energy levels to apply to anything you want. If you then want to branch into other specialist sports or activities, then you at least have the solid base and mindset to support any extra pressure you place on it. So what is cardiovascular training or CV training? I'm going to give a brief anatomy lesson. Apologies if you know this stuff already. So let's start with what this type of exercise mainly has an effect on within our bodies. The word cardiovascular is made up of two words, cardio or cardiac, which relates to the heart, and vascular, which refers to the vessels that carry the blood. Within this system is also the cardiopulmonary system, which relates to the subsection of the CV system that works between the heart and the lungs. This CV system, cardiovascular system, is crucial for our survival, and maintaining it regularly is so important for your longevity and the quality of your life. So just like you would not let some random stranger in the street service and MOT your car, you need to make sure you empower yourself and use qualified specialists to show you how to maintain this system. So here is a brief description of how your CV system works. You breathe in oxygen and other nutrients into your lungs. The heart pumps blood to your lungs, and the blood absorbs those nutrients, and the waste products are passed back to the lungs, which are expelled via the out breath. The new nutrient-rich blood is then returned to the heart. The heart then pumps that blood out to the rest of the body via the arteries. It is absorbed into the tissues like muscle via small blood vessels. And then these nutrients are used to refuel and replenish the muscles and other tissues. Waste products from this process then make their way back into the veins, which return back to the heart, and so the process starts again. Now, this is obviously very simplified, but it's enough for you to get the basic idea, and it also shows that without the heart, everything else fails. So if you want to thrive, and I know you do because you're listening right now, then we have to make keeping this system the best we can to get what we want from life. So why is CV training good for us? Well, an improved CV system hugely decreases your chance of many nasty health conditions. According to the NHS Choices website, there is a long list of conditions CV exercise will prevent, which include up to a 35% lower risk of coronary heart disease and stroke, up to a 50% lower risk of type 2 diabetes, up to a 50% lower risk of colon cancer, up to a 20% lower risk of breast cancer, a 30% lower risk of early death, up to an 83% lower risk of osteoarthritis, up to a 68% lower risk of hip fracture, up to a 30% lower risk of depression, and up to a 30% lower risk of dementia. That's a lot of lowering risk, right? Now, I use the NHS choices as my main reference because although there are lots of other sources, this is one that will align with obviously your GP and the health system we have within the UK. But other information very similar can also be found from the American College of Sports Medicine, the ACSM, and the World Health Organization, WHO or WHO, to name a few. If you're not sure of any of the conditions I just listed, then a quick search online will certainly help with the motivation of keeping away from developing any of these things. However, as I mentioned in my last podcast on mental balance, we don't want a goal that we have to push towards all the time and always be motivated by fear or the idea of moving away from pain. But we want one that will pull us towards it, which is based on moving towards pleasure. So let's look at the benefits of cardiovascular too. So increased energy throughout your day, a strengthened immune system, very relevant in our current situation, stronger and more toned muscles, improved body shape, increased bone density, especially from impact CV training, improved mood due to the release of happy hormones, and improved posture. So it's very clear that if you include CV training into your life regularly, then you can expect it to get you fit, but also the positive benefits will permeate out into all aspects of your life. And this leads to the big question I'm sure you're all thinking by now. How much do I need to do to get the results discussed? So again, NHS Choices advises that adults should aim to be physically active every day. Any activity is better than none, and more is better still. Do at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activity per week. You can also achieve your weekly activity target with several short sessions of very vigorous intensity activity, or a mix of moderate, vigorous, and very vigorous intensity activities. I'll get down to what those types of activities are in a second. So make sure the type and intensity of your activities are appropriate to your fitness levels. This just basically means build your capacity slowly so you don't overdo it, get injured and not enjoy it, and then have to stop. Building levels slowly keeps you engaged. It allows for the proper adaptation of the body, and it prevents injury and ensures longevity and positive habits to be formed. Stay away from the boom and bust PTs. They try to break you from the start, talking about beasting people. Again, you may get fit quick, but many people drop off due to injury and motivation issues. So be smart, think about the bigger picture, and understand that this is part of a new lifestyle, not something for a few weeks or months. Little and often means small actions build to massive results over time. Let's look at the types of cardiovascular training and the training zones. As we're working on keeping our heart healthy, our heart rate, which is the number of beats per minute, should be considered carefully when looking at what intensity it should work at and what we are wanting to achieve. Working at all levels will be the best for a healthy person. If you have a health condition, then you should consult your GP and they will refer you to a specialist in that field to give you a bespoke fitness plan that will not affect you negatively. You can calculate your maximum heart rate by subtracting your age from 220. For example, if you're 45 years old, subtract 45 from 220 to get a maximum heart rate of 175. So this is the average maximum number of times your heart should beat per minute during exercise. This does change if you're fitter, but takes more specific equipment to calculate, but it's a good place to start. So, let's look at the types of intensity and the aerobic activities. So, moderate aerobic activity is about 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate, and that includes activities such as hiking, slow jogging, and manual labour. Vigorous aerobic activity is about 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate, and that covers things like running, cycling, most team sports, and swimming. High-intensity aerobic or anaerobic activity is 80 to 90% maximum heart rate, which covers things like spinning, high-intensity interval training or HIIT training, Les Mills grit, sprint sessions, or Tabata training. Looking for a balance of these over your week is always going to give you good results as you're covering all areas and zones. Just ensure you consider the 150 minutes for moderate and 75 minutes for vigorous aerobic activities. If you're doing a weekly HIIT session, then the ACSM or American College of Sports Medicine recommends taking a 1-week break every 8 weeks to let your body recover properly. On that week off, you should focus more on the moderate activities to ensure you are ready to then ramp it up again the following week. So what are the pitfalls? What are the sort of things to look out for in cardiovascular training? Because believe it or not, some people will do a lot of cardiovascular training. That habit's already built in, but maybe they're going too far. So let's look at some of the pitfalls that people kind of fall into during that process. So one of the things I see really commonly, especially for people looking for quick fixes and answers online, is using elite athletes' training guides. Now, elite athletes usually will have people that will look at their lifestyle, will look at their abilities, will look at the time they have to train and their nutrition plans, and they'll build a training plan for that person. They're designed for that person. And it takes into account their fitness levels, their nutrition, and the abilities that are considered within that. So copying these do not guarantee success and most probably guarantee injury and overtraining issues. The other pitfall might be too much cardio but not enough recovery. So not allowing the body to recover can be as bad as not getting off the sofa in the first place. Sometimes more is definitely not better, and when we exercise, our muscles are broken down and they're damaged. And this encourages our body to improve by rebuilding stronger systems to cope with the activity that you were doing. The rebuilding part happens when we rest. So if you're not resting enough, expect injury, low energy levels, stiffness, and a drop in performance. So more is not always best. And the other thing is too much of the same. We need variation. After a while, our body adapts and it gets smart, so it stops progressing as quickly. So mixing up the types of exercises, keeping the body improving, and it also trains the nervous system to be able to deal with many different challenges. So at Fit2Thrive, how can we support you in achieving your CV fitness for life? Well, first of all, we offer a free community group to anyone on Facebook, and we give you tips and tricks to stay engaged, and our social media has loads of info on it, and that's what we're all about, is giving you as much information as we possibly can so you can make informed choices and you can fit those things into your own personal plan, your personal template, because one size definitely doesn't fit all. Now, as a Platinum member, you get a little bit more. Currently, we're giving it all of it for free during lockdown, but as a Platinum member from May the 1st onwards, we'll go back into the other way of working, and with that paying membership, which is only £10 per month, we give live classes every day, and these are balanced between all training zones like we've just discussed, and can be accessed anywhere from a computer, tablet or phone. So wherever you are, you can keep your CV levels at their optimum. You also get lots of extra tips and videos to supplement your training. You also get a Fit2Thrive workbook, which is packed with useful information so you can learn more about the benefits of CV exercise and how to apply that information. This outlines all aspects of what we do and allows you to work through it. So make notes and educate yourself on how to achieve your fitness goals and helps you stick to that plan. And you can also access our quality one-to-one fitness and mindset success coaching. So that will get you achieving your goals, giving you new strategies and the resources you need to realize your true potential. Our hearts are an incredible gift. They beat well over 1 billion times in our lifetime. It beats when we sleep, work and exercise and puts up with so much stress. It works tirelessly for us. We don't even have to ask it to do what it does best. It all operates on an unconscious level. So let's look after this engine of life. I hope you've enjoyed your 101 to CV training. There are many more levels to this, which you'll find out about in our community, but I wanted to give you a rudimentary start. After all, knowledge is potential power. This podcast is obviously for entertainment only, so any information is only our opinion on Fit to Thrive, and if you're unsure about anything, other professional advice can be sought from your doctor. But if you're unsure about anything, you can also speak to us directly and contact us via the website or any of our online social media. Now, if knowledge is potential power, then action is our power. So take massive action, commit to making CV training part of your plan to thrive. You can join our community at www.fit2thrive.co.uk if you haven't already, and you can get access to live classes and all the resources I just discussed, and you don't need to just survive, you can thrive. So if you master this key, then you're one step closer to the vision you have for understanding and having an outstanding future. See you next time. Stay healthy.